Hi everyone, welcome to the Epson F6370 setup tutorial. Today we will be going step by step in setting up your new printer, starting from the initial build to the ink charge. First, lift the top of the box upward and move it out of the way. Next, remove all boxes that are visible on the top of the printer and set aside. Remove this beam from the center of the protective foam, and also remove the parts hidden inside the foam pieces. Remove these 4 support beams from all sides and lift up the foam pieces and set them aside. Now, to prevent any confusion, when we refer to the left or right side, we will be referring to them from the perspective of looking at the printer from the front. So this will be the left side, and this will be the right side. Moving on. Find these 3 pieces for the stand. For your reference, the crossbeam will have left and right sides labeled. And when complete, the labels should be facing the front of the printer. Same with the legs, the top portion will have the L and R labeled, indicating which side is which. And the arrow should be pointing towards the front of the printer. Now remove the blue tape from each side of the support beam and locate these 2 metal rods on both sides of the beam. These metal rods will slide into 2 slits on both legs. Once you slide them in, your stand should look like this. Now take this hex wrench and tighten the 2 bolts on each side of the legs to secure the crossbeam. The bolts are already embedded inside the legs, so no need to look for them. Before doing anything else at this point, make sure to lock the stand so that it won't roll around when you're placing the printer on top of it. Now, go ahead and remove the plastic covering and refer to both sides to see where the lift handles are. Once the handles are located, carefully lift both sides and set the printer carefully onto the stand. Once you feel it fully sit into the stand, carefully let go of the printer. This may take a couple times to find just the right spot where the printer will latch onto the stand. Once the printer is safely on the stand, find these 3 A bolts and bolt them into the bottom of the stand. 2 on the left side and 1 on the right side. Now we're going to remove all the blue tape that you see. Check every side of the printer so that you don't miss any blue tape. Next, locate these 5 metal pieces along with the bags of bolts labeled B, C, D, and E. We will now begin to construct the ink bay and the waste tank system. First, take this piece and the bag labeled D. Take 2 of the bolts and bolt them into these holes on the right leg. Do not tighten all the way. Place the 2 bolts into these 2 holes and then press downward to latch on. And now go ahead and tighten the 2 bolts to fully secure the piece on. Next, find this piece and use the D bolts to bolt into 2 holes on the right leg. Use the same method as before to latch the piece on correctly. Once tightened, it should look like this. Now find this piece and bolts labeled C. These 4 holes will be used to latch onto these metal prongs on each side. Then bolt C will be used here to tighten the piece in. Once complete, take the ink containers and place them into their correct slots. Now find this piece and bolt it in using bolt C into these 2 holes. Next, find this metal piece along with bolts B. You will use these 2 hooks to latch onto the metal prongs on each side. Then use bolts B to bolt into these holes on each side. Now use bolts E to build the bay for the waste tank using the same latching technique we used in the earlier steps. These bolts will go into these 2 holes on the back side of the right leg. Find the waistline in the back and remove all the tape and plastic from it. Once removed, secure the line using these plastic clips on the back right side of the printer. For the next steps, we will use diagrams so that you can see all the small details. First, place the waistline into the metal piece as shown. The middle section with the 2 zip ties should align with the middle clip. Once aligned, close the 2 clips as shown. Next, get the end piece of the waistline and align it as shown. Then press inward to secure it. Next, grab the bottle lid and secure it using the 2 prongs as shown. Now grab the waste tank and carefully put it into place by slightly angling the bottle at entry. Once the waste tank is in place, pull down the cap to secure the lid into place. Now find the included media and the 2-roll media adapters. Depending on the size of the media core, switch both sides to either 2 or 3 inches. Next, place each adapter to each side of the media, and then pull this lever down to secure it into place. Pull this lever up and then slide the media into place. Pull the lever back down to lock the media into place. Now grab the 4 bags of ink that came with your printer. First, you will remove this chip from the blue bag. Carefully place that chip to the end of the ink container lids. Make sure to place the correct chip with the corresponding color lid. Once complete, place the lid onto the ink tank, and repeat for every other color of ink. Next, carefully tear the corner of the bag and begin pouring the ink into each tank, making sure that the correct color ink is being poured into the corresponding ink tank. Once complete, make sure to securely close the cap on each ink tank. Lastly, we will begin the ink charge. Find the power cord and plug in the printer to a power source. Press the power button as shown. Select English and click OK for done. Next, input the correct date and time, and then click OK for proceed. Next, select the unit of measurement. We will select feet and inches and click OK for proceed. Select HDK and then click OK for done. Make sure any covers that may be open are fully closed. We have already installed the tanks and filled them up with ink, so go ahead and click OK. Waste tank has also been set up, so go ahead and click OK. Press OK again. Now the ink charge has begun. That's it for the Epson F6370 setup tutorial. Thanks for watching.